All right, we're here with Brad Keller, Kansas City Royals.
Starting 9 in the house. BK.
I feel like this has been long overdue because I gave you and Whit Merrifield a tour of the old Barstool office. You haven't yet seen the new Barstool office. So my first question is, what is your favorite Barstool content and why is it starting 9?
I mean, the fact that you guys cover the in-depth parts of baseball, like get in with the boys, get in with the guys, hear the real stories. I mean, that's what it's all about. Instead of the media coverage, you guys actually get into it, grind into the real depths of the answers, and that's the best part.
Yeah, we do. And in the off season, no, it was spring training. Spring training, we went golfing with Whit.
Crushed him.
You should have seen me on the fucking green.
Tighten that game up, Whit. Tighten that game up, guy.
Yeah. It wasn't the greatest performance, especially on the green. I was by far the best putter that we had that day. If there were an off-season / spring training activity that you could handpick for yourself to do with Dallas and myself, what would that activity be?
I mean, the only thing I do in spring training, honestly, is golf. But I can't compete with Witten, and that dude's a freak at golf. So, if you guys embarrassed him on the golf course, I couldn't imagine what y'all are going to do to me on the golf course. So, golf's the only thing I could do, honestly. I mean, we could go. I don't even know. I would say golf.
Have you even heard of Candlepin Bowling?
No, I haven't.
You've never even heard of it.
Because he's not a fucking loser, Carabas. That's why.
No, Candlepin Bowling is like the only version of bowling. It's a Boston thing. The balls are smaller. They're not like they're probably about like that big. So you can you can palm it if you've got little hands like me. That's something that we got to do with someone, Dallas. Like
this is where Candlepin Bowling came in for Jared. BK is I took him out to Oakland. He came. We did the whole run of the mill. We went to this place that's got all kind of games and shit. And I took him to the Papa Shot, dominated. Took him to the fucking air hockey table, dominated.
You didn't.
Took him to the.
You didn't
took him to the,
dominate.
Well, it's all on video. And the fact that he's saying no now, we have the video for that. Took him to the bowling alley, just absolutely shit on him. And he looked at me and goes, "Oh, it is Candlepin Bowling. The balls, they're smaller. I can." So, who on your team would like just ultimate competitor? But let's say you take him out to 3 or 4 different things. It's a golf course. Maybe it's go-kart racing, whatever. And you just absolutely whip their ass. But if you let them tell the story, like they walked away undefeated. Who's that guy on your team that you just can't pin down?
Probably Kyle Zimmer, honestly.
Zim?
Yeah. Me and Zim, we kind of both super competitive, but it depends on who you're asking on who wins whatever we do. So he's a treat though. Love him to death, but we get some heated battles on the pop shot or golf course or anything.
Yes. Is golf your one thing where, besides baseball, obviously, where if you're like, hey, me versus you, I'm guaranteeing a victory. What is that activity? It can even be because like we did rock, paper, scissors. So it doesn't have to be like a sport. It doesn't have to be just anything. It could be a video game. Anything.
Honestly, like I'm not. So to the video games point, I just got into video games when I went into quarantine this year, because that was the only thing that I could do, and I figured, I might as well, pass time with something. But I'm still not good at it. Like I'm still sus on it. So and believe it or not, I play like ridiculously amount because, like I said, I couldn't do anything. So I can't do that. I mean, I think. Honestly, that's hard because I don't really I just golf and play baseball, if that makes sense.
I just golf and play baseball.
You know what's
funny?
Like all of it. I try to explain to people because I get hit with that question a lot too. Like, what did you do when you were playing? Like, were you watching these shows and I was like, honestly, man, no, because I get home from the yard and I'm fucking tired, or I'm leaving the yard and I'm gonna go blow it out a little while and then come home and That's called passing out, not going to bed. So I'm not doing much in between that time. Then I'm going to wake up in time to recover, go to the yard and do that all over again. Off day,
Exactly.
I'm going to go swing the sticks. I'm going to go golf. I'm going to hang out with the boys. That's what we're going to be able to do, right? You can chew on the fat a little over a 4 or 5 hour round, have some fun. So I try to explain, it's like pitchers are the kickers of the baseball team. Like we throw the balls and then we go stand out and chase the balls that you hit. And other than that, we really don't have much to do. So they don't understand. Have you been able to draw any sort of like mental parallels between on the golf course and on the mound? Because I'm trying to tell people that if you golf with me or you, BK, maybe we're taking 100 shots around, right? That's 100 different times you're addressing the baseball. Hitters getting into the box, each swing they take. That's kind of like them addressing the ball each and every time. So to be able to compartmentalize each swing on a course, each pitch on the mound, how have you been able to like draw some of those parallels mentally?
Yeah, I mean, I think they go hand in hand, believe it or not. I mean, we decided to pick the two hardest sports to perfect, honestly, which is absolute psychotic. But yeah, right. But I mean, I honestly think they go hand in hand. Like you said, like you address the ball, 100 different times. Same thing with pitching. You address each pitch 100 times throughout a game, and like the ability to lock it in, really focus in, and I think the biggest thing is like, especially like when you're on the golf course, you're there to have fun, but you're also trying to be competitive at the same time. Like in a sense, that's kind of the way you are pitching as well, or even just playing baseball. But it's like you can't be locked in for 4 straight hours. Like that alone is like so tasking on your body. So the ability to like lock it in for like this putt or this pitch, and then like kind of unlock, for 30 seconds, and then or on the golf course a little bit longer until your next shot. But like just the kind of like lock in, lock out, lock in, lock out. I think that's the biggest thing between golfing and pitching, because it's like I said, if you try to stay locked in for all 100 pitches, like even that time you're sitting in the dugout, like you're not going to make it to the 7th, 8th inning, because you're going to be so mentally worn out and physically drained. Like it's going to be really hard.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of folks don't realize the mental anguish that you're going through out on that mound. And you make a great point about coming in and being able to disconnect, because that's exactly what I would do. I would disconnect for those first 2 outs. And then once that second out comes, I go up, check the board. I know who my next 3 victims are going to be. I'm going over how I'm going to get them out. And then I go back out there and I get the work done. But that is great to hear from somebody who's doing it right now, because you have to be able to separate yourself from the mindset, the production, and the attack plan. Those are all 3 different things, right? And you acknowledge that. It's huge.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, it's probably the biggest part of the game. Like I learned that, when I first got drafted, that was like one of the main things, because I was like kind of freaking out, like, holy crap, like this is professional baseball. Like this
You're coming from high school. You're coming from high school, right? What the fuck do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so like that was like one of the very first things I was taught is like, dude, you can't stay locked in the whole game. Like it is like almost impossible. And it's like, because I feel like I'm different than most starting pitchers. Like most starting pitchers, like on their start day, they are like, no one talks to me, like I'm dialed in, and I'm like different. Like I want to be like loose until it's game time, and then like I know when I have to lock it in. Are
you manning the stereo? Do you got your phone plugged in on your day? Do you let somebody else do that? Because I had young left-handed Gio Gonzalez, young babyface Gio Gonzalez, when he showed up to the A's, and that was his thing. He wanted to dance, he wanted to sing, he wanted to just be a clown on the day he pitched. And a lot of people were like, hey man, can you talk to him and kind of tell him and teach him how to, and I said, no, we're going to let him dance and sing and dance to the oldies, because that's what he does to lock it in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really man the stereo system. I kind of let whoever wants to. But like as long as they play good music, obviously, which
sure.
Our guys on our team don't doubt that. I mean, they got it going on. But yeah, I mean, like I don't really like I'm trying to still be a teammate, even though it's my start day. I'm trying to still be a good teammate. I don't want to like shut out the team. Like this is the guys I'm going to battle with. I don't want to be like, removing myself for them just for one day. Like I was basically a cheerleader for 4 days. Now it's like I want them behind my back for this day. Like
sure.
That's kind of my outlook on it. Like I don't want to be like shut down. Don't talk to me. Let me like put in headphones. Like I'm trying to keep it loose as well.
Yeah.
And,
Like I've noticed that like baseball players or position players, when they have their walk-up songs, some guys will have like a pump-up song and some guys will play like country music. It's like, well, I'm trying to go up to the plate, relax. Like I'm not trying to go up to the plate trying to murder somebody. If you were a position player, which one of those guys would you be? Like, are you going to the plate with like a pump-up song, or are you playing something to just chill going up there?
What's your song? What's your interest? Because as a starter, you get to pick your music.
Yeah.
So what are you warming up to?
Yeah, I warm up to Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. Just kind of like a slow, mellow song, like good beat. To me, if I get that like really pumped up song, it's like I feel like I'm gonna play tense. You know what I mean? I need that like kind of like mellow, like chill, like a song that I can like bob my head to a little bit, just kind of like get my mind off of being so freaking nervous to make a pitch or start a big league game. Like just a song that kind of like mellows me out a little bit.
See, much different than me, BK. I had to spend every minute of that fifth day lying to myself, lying to everybody else out there. I am taking the mound 6'8", 250, ready to rip your fucking head off.
Yeah,
I was listening
Dallas out there warming up to like Slipknot.
Well, in college. I came out to Du Hast.
Oh no way!
Oh yeah, and at Texas Tech, they had the aluminum bleachers, the tech hecklers, so they were beating on the fucking like the stadium seats, and it sounded amazing. But you look out there, and it's like I'm fucking 6 feet tall, 150 pounds, just some little bitch that's like, oh yeah, motherfucker, here I come. But that's how I was like in the big leagues too. So like it's great because you have a feel for who you are. You have an understanding for who you are as a pitcher or competitor. I did too. I was just on the flip side. I didn't think I was good enough to be myself on that fifth day. I felt like I had
an accurate assessment.
Yeah, I felt like I owed it to my guys, right? I owed it to my dudes to be not the same asshole that they had been seeing all week long.
Why did you withhold this information from me for so long? I love Du Hast.
It's me. We got the great BK on, and it's not about us, Carabas. It's about me. BK.
All right, then we're gonna circle back to this after the interview.
I need to know because coming from high school, it's a different world. It's a different mindset. And I always jokingly say, you go from doing book reports to cashing paychecks for doing what you were doing right before you went home and finished up your diorama and turned it into your language arts class. And what was that adjustment period like for you? When did you realize, guess what? I'm a pro now.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely hard. I mean, I think, trying to psych myself out, even like on the plane ride out there, like my very first going out right after I got drafted, flying out there, like I didn't sleep at all. It was like a 6 a.m. flight, didn't sleep at all. It's just because I was like, this is really happening. Like I'm actually going to play professional baseball. Like, and then in my mind, I was like, well, this is it. Like there is no real fallback plan. Like if this doesn't like happen, like I have to go back to college and like I don't get to play baseball again. Like there's just, I was like, this is it. Like you have to make this work. Like there really isn't but you know what I mean? Like if I really committed to this, like we got to go. And so that was like kind of my mindset from the start. But like I was also terrified because I was like literally 17 years old and I never even flew past, like the first I flew west was like Kansas City, believe it or not. But like here I am, 17 years old on a flight by myself to Arizona, going to a place I've never even been, no one there. And I'm like, all right, like, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, I was fortunate enough to get guys, the same draft class that kind of took me in. They were all college guys and kind of showed me the ropes. And that was like tremendous help to me because I would have been absolutely clueless. I don't even know if I would have been here where I am now without them. But that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, I got a good support staff. Like my family's really supportive. Everyone back home, I'm from a small town back in Georgia. So everyone there is really supportive. And it's like, we can make this work. We can grind and see how far we can make it. Like I remember sitting in rookie ball thinking like even low A was forever away. I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to make it to low A, and then when I got to low A, I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to make it to double A. Like that is like, there's so many guys in front of me. That's 2 huge steps. I was like, this is crazy. And so to be here where I am today is just like mind boggling. Like I mean, it's been my dream as a little kid and I can't believe it's happening.
What was your let me ask him this, Jared, because when you come from a small town in Georgia and you're the best player on your team, you're the best player in the league, you're the best player really at any point in time you're stepping on the baseball field in a small town like that. You specifically, other guys that grow up in that scenario. So when you get on that plane and you touch down in the desert, it's hot as fuck. You roll out there day one and you see this fucking Dominican kid who's 5'9", 130, 140 pounds, blowing 97. What were you like? What was your thought then? Because I had the same thoughts and feelings you did when I showed up to Vancouver, Canada, watching these kids play catch and shit. And I go, holy, what? I've never seen.
Yeah.
How's he fucking do that? He's not even big enough to do that. How's he do that? And I thought the same thing you did. I'm going to be in Vancouver, Canada until I'm 36 years old. No way I'm getting to the big ones.
Yeah, that was exactly my mindset as well. I remember this. I remember sitting down the day we got there. We had like a little mini camp or whatever, and they were playing a game that day. And so all the new draft guys are kind of sitting behind the dugout or behind the home plate. And one of the guys asked, like, the guys that have been there, is like, who's the hardest thrower here? And they literally pointed to a guy that, like you said, 5'10", $160, and they go, this guy sits 100.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, I'm over here, like, feeling like just happy to be there. And it's like, I don't throw 100. I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way I make it out of rookie ball. And that was literally,
why am I here?
Yeah, I'm like, what did they see in me in order, like, I don't throw 100. Like, this guy is like a freak athlete. And I'm like, that's not me either. Like, I mean, it was just unbelievable. And I was like, yeah, I'm stuck here forever. Like, I made the right.
So, like, your ERA drops almost 2 full runs from last year to this year. And yes, it's a 60-game season, so whatever it would have been over 162, but it drops 2 full runs. What is the biggest adjustment that you make? And do you think, because like you're talking about like your development as a player, do you like what percentage would you give where it was actual adjustments that you made versus like, I'm just progressing as a baseball player physically, like this is what is supposed to happen. Like as I kind of get into my prime years, I'm naturally going to get better. Like that's just what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly one of the biggest keys to me this year was throwing my slider more. I was able to, make some adjustments to that pitch, especially during. I think, like, believe it or not, like having that quarantine was like a blessing in disguise because I was able to, we just came off of spring training where we were a week away from breaking for the season, so all of our arms were really fresh. So we were able to actually like work on stuff without it really counting. Just obviously it sucked we weren't playing and we were throwing bullpens that didn't really count towards anything, but like to be able to like we worked on some mechanical adjustments where I used to be like a really high front side, like kind of tilt throw over, and it was really inconsistent. To where I was like last year I think I was second in the league in walks or something. Like that was like kind of a main focus for us. Like we need to eliminate those walks. So we made some mechanical adjustments and then also made some adjustments to my slider to where I felt more comfortable and felt more consistent, able to throw in any count. At any time, like no matter who was in the box. And to me, it was just more of like gaining confidence in that pitch and in my mechanics to be able to go out there and compete and like not really worry about like if I had my best stuff, like it wasn't going to be a good day or bad day. It's like I'm just going to go out there and like I know and I trust my stuff enough and I know what I want to do that I can go out there and just trust it, even if like some things aren't going my way, like still just be able to trust it and keep grinding throughout the game.
Is there one batter where like you can trust your stuff all you want, but it's like when you see this guy coming up, because for a guy like we just posted the clip the other day, like Trevor Bauer said, I think like Manny Machado hit like 700 against him. No matter what he did, he couldn't get him out. Is there one guy where when he comes to play, you're like, doesn't matter. I could have a perfect game going right now. Like I have no prayer against this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of a few guys, honestly. One guy that like dates back all the way to Double-A actually is David Bodie of the Cubs. Okay. That guy owns me. I don't know what it is. That guy absolutely owns me. Like in Double-A, I think he hit probably 700 with 10 extra base hits off me. Oh. And then my very first time facing the Cubs in 18. I was talking to Jacob Junis before the game, and I was like, as long as they don't have Bodie in there, like, I'll be all right. Like, it was just like a mental thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, Bodie's in the lineup. I give up 4 runs, and he had 4 RBIs against me. And I was like, I was like, this guy owns me. I don't know what it is, but he sees me good.
Do you know him at all?
No, never met him.
Huh.
So the move is here, BK. The move after this, I promise you, this will work. You just send him a thank you card. Just send him a thank you card. That's all. Just send him a thank you. You don't have to fucking write anything in it. You don't have to do anything. Just from Brad Keller, a simple thank you card. And that right there, that's like, and I'm sure you've experienced this on the golf course. Guy competing with you, guys striping it a little. You just tell him right before his shot on the tee box, hey man, I just want to tell you, your timing right now looks incredible.
Oh yeah, screws him all the way up after that.
Oh yeah, then the next time he stands over that ball, it's fucking. Oh, wait, timing's been great. It's not fucking great. Snap hook, and just tell. I'm here to help you. Fuck Bodie. Let's get BK on the right side of things here.
I appreciate that.
Well, you said other guys. Is Bodie like the greatest display of dominance, or are other guys just like a couple homers here and there?
I mean, I remember Kipnis when he was with the Indians. He was a guy that always, whether he got a hit or not, it would always seem to be like a 10, 11 pitch AB. Like, just battled me all the time. Those are the worst. Like, I like guys that grind out ABs, like, as a pitcher, especially like me, where I want to get you out in as least amount of pitches as possible. Like, a guy that grinds out an AB, like 10, 11 pitches, like every single time I face him, is like one of those things that like sits with me to where I'm like, this guy, like, I really need to focus on getting this guy out. So I remember him being a guy that's really pesky. Same thing with Leary Garcia. That was another guy that did that to me all the time. Those are 2 guys I know in our division that like have, or when Kipnis was with us, or in our division. But those are guys that always seem to see me good.
That would drive me absolutely insane.
Because you see that guy in the lineup and you're almost thinking, well, there's another fucking inning worth of pitches that I'm going to throw to this one asshole right now. Like, why can't I not get him out of there?
Who is your guy, Dallas? Oh yeah, just kidding. Dallas actually gave up 2 home runs in the same inning to Maglio Ordonez.
So moving right along,
he got because of that performance, he got sent down the next day on his birthday, but they wouldn't send him down to the actual minor league facility, so he got to spend his birthday knowing that he wasn't good enough to be a big leaguer while sitting in the A's clubhouse after giving up 2 home runs to Maglio Ordonez in the same inning. So that's Dallas's guy. It's a little bit different. So it's actually way worse than your story.
It's not how you draw a birthday in the big leagues up, BK.
Yeah, that's tough.
Significantly.
I will say another guy, Vogelbach this year. Speaking of giving up 2 home runs, this year he took me deep twice in the same game.
Bogey.
He's a good, yeah. He did it. He took me deep last year too, in Seattle, and then this year, sure enough, 2 bombs in the same game.
Hey,
I got seeing me good.
There's no shame in giving up bombs to that dude. Like, that dude wakes up in the morning and his first thought is hitting bombs.
I need a homer today. Yeah.
What has been the biggest, like, just most ridiculous, obscene display of dominance on a baseball field that you have seen? Maybe amateur level, pro level, big leagues, whatever. We typically like to start with the amateur level, and if you have just absolutely crushed the competition, please let us know. Like, for instance, we talked to Bryce Harper about this a while ago, and he talked about going, what was it, like 18 for 20 or something stupid in a high school tournament?
Yeah. I think it was whatever it was. There was one at bat that he didn't get a hit, and it was like a ball. Oh no! It was like 9 for 10.
Oh yeah, with 8
home runs, and the 9th hit was a double that one hopped the wall or went off the wall or something like that.
Yeah, and Rick Ankiel his senior year in high school threw 9 no-hitters.
9 no-hitters.
9?
He threw 9 no-hitters, and I asked him, like, what was your favorite high school performance? And he said he didn't pick one of the 9 no-hitters. He said there was one game where he gave up one hit. It was like a bunt single or like an infield bloop single. And then so it was a one hitter the rest of the way. Yeah. And then he hit a walk-off home run. They won 1-0. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Sicko.
That nine no-hitters is absolutely freakish.
That's stupid.
That's
like you're taking the mound like 12 times.
Yeah, like exactly. Like he gave up 3 hits the whole season.
He had Nolan Ryan's career just in his senior year alone in high school.
Right? That's incredible.
Stupid.
That's nuts. But to answer the question, I feel like in high school, our division was actually really good. Clint Frazier was in our division, and so was Travis Demerit, 2 first-rounders.
Yep.
So that was like, anytime you face those 2 teams, it was going to be, packed house, like scouts like crazy, like unbelievable amount. And I swear every single time we faced those 2 guys, they would always at least hit 2 home runs, like at least hit 2 home runs. I don't know like what their like stats were on the season or what they did, but I know against us, it was going to be a show. And watching those, especially, Clint, his senior year, like, or honestly his whole career in high school, like being able to watch him from just pummeling balls. I just remember thinking like, this guy is an absolute freak. Like he had the quickest hands I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of a funny story. The reason why I actually got noticed is because I faced Clint Frazier in my senior year of high school. That's really how I got noticed by scouts, because he obviously was a first rounder, solidified like top 10 pick. And he would always bring a lot of scouts with him, obviously. Sure. And so it was actually at my high school, and we didn't have enough bleachers. So we had to bring in 2 extra bleachers to fit all the scouts behind home plate. Like that's how many guys were there. And I actually threw really well. I struck him out. I struck him out his first 2 ABs, and then he hit a pop fly his next one. And yeah. And literally right after that very next day, I had like 5 like letters from all the scouts that were there, which was really cool. And then after that, I had scouts come to my games. But
where were you on the gun then?
I topped 94 at that game, and then my senior year I hit 96, which they said on the pitch I hit 96. I threw it straight to the backstop. I don't really remember it, but so they said it didn't count.
Still counts.
Yeah. They said it didn't count because it wasn't a strike, but I was like, in my book, that counts. Like, whatever number pops up on the radar gun, like, that counts.
Yeah, no, it went that hard. Regardless of where it landed, it went that hard. True story. That's what my junior college coach used to tell me. Hey, we got a lead. You got 2 strikes on a guy? See those cross checkers up there? Throw that fucker up the backstop. Let it go. High heater. And I was like, it's going to be 88. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean,
just got it as hard as you can.
Yeah,
just fucking let it go.
I'm totally behind that. Your fastest pitch in the big leagues, do you know what it is?
99.
99.21.
Is that what it was?
99.21 back in May of 2018.
Yeah, that was.
Oh wait, no, I lied. Last year you hit 98.35.
Ooh,
which is
in July.
That was probably against the Braves. That game I was like blackout. I was facing my hometown team, and like I had my entire, literally, like I said, I'm from a small town, but my entire town was at Truist Park, and I literally don't remember anything. I was just blacked out from the start.
How many ticket requests?
We were there for 2 days. We were there for 2 days. The first day was 65 tickets, and the second day was 75 tickets.
Homie, you had to pay the fucking team.
Oh,
you
my
had
God.
to pay the team.
I played for free. That was too serious. Those 2 games. Yeah, it was crazy. I had so many people. Like, that was one of the, probably like the highlight of my career, is just being back in my hometown facing. That was the first time, even in the minor leagues, I've ever faced a Braves affiliate.
Oh, wow.
I lied. I faced them in AA. But I never pitched against them. So I was always like, we faced them, I never pitched. This was the first time I pitched against them, to where I was like, this is literally a dream. Like I grew up watching literally every Braves game, especially when they dominated, with, Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox. Like, here's my dream. And like I said, from the second I stepped on the field, I blacked out and just don't remember anything until I was done.
What was the final line?
I went 7 shutout, gave up 4 hits. I think I struck out maybe 3 or 4 guys. I know I struck out McCann and Freeman, because those 2 stuck out, especially McCann, because that was a guy that, I kind of grew up watching. Like he was like the guy, especially because he's from not too far from where I'm from.
Right.
So that was like the guy in the area. And then obviously he goes on, has an unbelievable career in the big leagues. So it was like, that was really special.
That's amazing. Have you had that aha moment yet that like, oh shit, your big league moment, as they say, you know, and that can come in many forms, you know, seeing a guy across the diamond, pitching against your hometown team, whatever it may be. That moment though, that just kind of snaps you into where you are at. Am I in the fucking big leagues? Oh my God, I am. That just happened.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you?
That was when I faced the Angels for the first time and I faced Albert Pujols. That was the moment where I saw him step in the box and he did his like little shimmy thing. And I literally stepped off because I got chills and I was like, I've played as this guy in video games growing up. And here I am standing on the mound facing him. I'm like that, like I literally, all that went through my mind. And I just remember stepping off being like, this is so cool. Like, this is everything you dreamed of. Like, here I am facing Albert Pujols and like in a game in the big leagues, in a game that matters, like this guy's trying to get a hit off me. I was just like so baffled that I was in a situation. Like, that was a special moment. I think that was the first time where I was like, wow, we're actually here. We're actually doing this. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Like one of Dallas's questions that he'll ask is, what your first big league purchase is, like car, whatever. I want to know, like, have you bought something where you're at like a month later, a few weeks later, you're like, I definitely didn't need that. Like that was stupid. Like I was caught up in the moment. It was retail therapy. I bought something that was kind of stupid. I didn't actually need that.
Yeah, 100%. I actually, I bought a Louis Vuitton duffel bag that I literally have no reason buying it. And
hey, that is the last fucking thing I would have ever had you pick. I don't even see you walking into a fucking LV store, BK.
No, I know. That's what's so surprising about it. I'm like, after I did it, like after I was like, okay, like I'll use this for something, and then like a week later, I was like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever bought in my life. I was like, I'm never gonna use it. I'm literally trying to find ways to use it. It's not working. I'm like, I don't. Like, I was gifted a LV book bag from Danny Duffy my rookie year, and that's it. And I have a wallet, but that was also gifted. So, like, I never actually, like, went in there and bought anything until I bought the duffel bag. And now I'm like, well, that was kind of a bad idea. So.
I love it. Hey, I've been there. I walked into a fucking Cole Haan store in Boston very early on in my career. And the young lady that was working at the store, very attractive. And, you know, I'm trying all this shit on or whatever. And I see this Pico and I'm like, oh, bro, that is fucking nails. That's me. That's got my name all over it. I try it on and, you know, she gives me the swipe down the shoulders and down the arms and then the waistline hug. And is like, this looks amazing. And I was like, you fucking ain't right. It does. Credit card done. Let's go. $8,000 later. And I was like, oh shit. And I was trying to do anything and everything I could at that moment. Like, how do I act like I can't do this right now without like,
you got to fake the phone call. Yeah. Fake the phone call from grandma.
Well, that's the thing is if I'm going to ask for the phone number right after I make this purchase, I have to make this purchase. I can't go, hey, you know what? I feel like I'm going to have to bow out on this one, but are you busy tonight? Because I do have enough money to take you out to dinner. Not this jacket, but you and me dinner. Yeah? So I feel you, BK.
That's hilarious. $8,000. Jeez.
Stupid. Just absolutely stupid. Just no reason for it whatsoever.
That's hilarious.
We can get you one for $75 at Macy's. Not an issue. Not a problem at all. Your favorite, growing up as a Braves fan, your favorite memory from going to a game or watching the Braves on TV? Like, who was your favorite player? I know that you mentioned the big three, but did you have one that was your favorite from the Braves, and then like one game that kind of stuck out to you, whether you were there or you saw it on TV?
Yeah, my favorite player was John Smoltz. That was the guy that I absolutely loved
Red Sox
watching.
legend. Yep.
Yeah. That was just a guy that I loved watching. Like, I wasn't big on, I loved watching the Braves in general. It wasn't like I was like a one guy fan except for John Smoltz. Like, if he was pitching, I was watching. Like, that was like the guy that I try to, emulate my game after, almost like his like mentality on the mound and the fact that he could dominate, when he was starting versus closing, like all that.
That's what I was going to say. So if there's an all-time Braves player draft, you're selecting John Smoltz, but you have to declare, are you taking John Smoltz the starter or John Smoltz the closer?
Probably the starter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fucking thunderous.
Yeah. I mean, that was impressive to watch. Fun to watch.
Who from the past is a batter that you would like to face as sort of a measuring stick? Like, you know what? This dude was who he was. Because you've got the machine under the belt. You got to face Albert. Is there anybody from the past that you'd be like, you know what, man? Like that AB right there, like he might take me deep, but I need to feel that. I want to see what my shit plays like against him.
Yeah, I think like Barry Bonds would be a lot of fun to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be fun. No, I don't think it would be fun.
I mean, like depending on the result, but I think it'd be so sick to see him get in the box and be like, okay, like this, I mean, best on best. Like I'm gonna try to go after him with the fastball and see what he can do with it. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yes.
That would be a fun AB. I feel like just like mentally. I mean, obviously, the results might, not be in my favor just based on the guy's a freak at hitting. But I think that would be a really cool matchup.
How do you think that would go?
Oh, I just want to see like how far he can hit it. Hopefully there's something there stopping it before it gets too far.
We've all seen the Gagne AB. We know how that goes.
Yeah.
You've also got
exactly.
99. You also got 99. You can go and get that. Hey, I'm with you. I would want to see if he could get. Can you really get to my 87 with arm side run in under the hands, Barry? Yeah, he probably can. Not too worried about him.
I don't hate that at all. Yeah, Barry, we're a very Barry-friendly podcast here. And I feel like, I mean, you're obviously on Team Barry Hall of Fame, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think it's crazy that it's taken this long. I think they'll probably either make him sweat it out until the 10th year, but that's a guy that's gonna get in there. But would you say that like John Smoltz was like the guy for you growing up, or was there, like, even though you're a pitcher, was there a position player that you idolized as a kid?
Honestly, no. Like I knew real young I couldn't hit. So
same.
I knew really, really young, and so I never really tried to. I loved mimicking Gary Sheffield's batting stance, though.
Yeah.
That was that was anytime we played wiffle ball or backyard baseball, that was the batting stance I went to. But I never really got into the position player just because I knew like I didn't really have a future there. So I don't know what it was. I just sucked at hitting. I think when I was really young, I got like beamed too many times where
Same.
I was like, I'm off of this. I don't want to do this anymore. And then like I didn't even want to step in the box. And then when I did, I was like, okay, like there's no chance I can hit that. So I'm out.
Now you're one of those bullies on the mound throwing 99 at everybody else. That's fair. That's
right.
Yeah. Is there a ballpark that you're looking forward to pitching in that you haven't pitched in yet?
Yeah, Wrigley Field. That's one place. I feel like I pitched in Fenway. That was actually where I hit 99 for the first time. That was magical. I mean, I came out of the bullpen too, so adrenaline all-time high. Like, no, I don't even think I've ever been on that level before. But then I've also pitched at SunTrust or Truist Park, so like my hometown. I think that the one place I really want to go is Wrigley. We went there this year for two games, but I was on the COVID list, so I didn't make it. But that's one place I really want to go.
How was that? The whole COVID experience?
It sucked. I was in quarantine for 11 days, and it felt like I was in there for years.
Yeah.
Like time was like crawling by. It was like I couldn't do stuff long enough to pass the day. Like I would literally like lay in bed as long as I could, and then it'd be like 10 o'clock, and then I would go sit on the couch and watch TV as long as I could, and it'd be like 11 o'clock, and like it sucked, dude. I felt miserable in there. As far as like the sickness itself, like I was fine after like 4 days. I really wasn't even sick. I had like a stuffed up nose. But the quarantine part, just sitting by yourself, and I was in an apartment building. It wasn't even like I was in a house. So I was in an apartment building, and I couldn't leave the apartment. So I couldn't even get I had a balcony, so I got some fresh air, but it wasn't like I could walk around anywhere. So it was just like, it was hell.
That was the last 3 years of my life. every day just wake up in a 700 square foot apartment. Actually, I took Brad to my favorite pizza place in New York. Shout out to Garlic. That was pretty solid. That's literally the only good thing about New York, was that you can wake up and like Starbucks is walking distance. That's great. And then like that pizza place was right on the corner. Like that was great. Other than that, it's like, what am I doing here? Like, why do people live in New York? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Where do you live in the off season?
I live in Atlanta. I still live up I'm actually living with my brother. He just moved into a house, but close to my parents. I don't really get to see him a whole lot while we're on the road, especially after this year. So spend time with them, save a little bit of money, trying to invest into a house next year. So we'll see.
Smart.
Okay. And you're going to keep it local? You're going to stay in that same area?
That's kind of up in the air right now. Thinking about maybe moving down. I have a bunch of friends in Tampa, friends and family in Tampa area. So maybe move down there, maybe stay up here. It's kind of a toss up, but
I see you ducking that tax, man. That a baby.
Yeah, that also plays into it a little bit. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I love Arizona, but I spent when spring training first got shut down, I stayed out in Arizona, and that heat every single day, I was just like, I can't do this. Like, even though baseball season's during the summer, like I'm just like, I can't do it.
It's a different animal. That's a different animal.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, speaking of Tampa, before the last question, speaking of Tampa, who you got in the World Series?
Oh, this is I really want Tampa to win. I think I love their team. They're literally all grinders. Like they're so much fun to watch. Their pitching staff, probably the nastiest pitching staff ever. Like every guy that comes out of the bullpen, if you're not submarine, you're throwing 100 over the top with movement. Like that's just it's so much fun to watch, especially being a pitcher, seeing the guys they roll out there. And one of my good friends, Austin Meadows, is on the team, so it'd be really cool to see
starting out away
with yeah. It'd be really cool to see them pull out a ring out of this.
Yeah.
So you've got ask him. I'm not going to steal it. I'm not going to ask it for you.
Oh, the repertoire?
Yes.
Okay. Just single word answers. What's the pitch repertoire?
Fastball, sinker, slider, changeup.
Okay. You can ditch one of those 4 pitches, but you have to take that same pitch from someone else that's in the league right now. So you can ditch the slider, but you have to take someone else's slider. What pitch you giving up, and who's you taking of the same pitch?
I'm ditching my changeup for Luis Castillo's changeup.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
That
I actually, you know whose changeup I'm expecting to be an answer a lot more moving forward. I feel like
Sixto.
No, Devin Williams of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, that thing is stupid.
Has the best changeup in baseball, but no one's talking about it yet.
It's because he's a reliever. Because he doesn't get the shine.
I know, but by next year, if he gets like a full 162, we're gonna start hearing a lot of guys ditching their changeup for his changeup. I guarantee it.
Yeah, 100%. He can literally tell you a changeup's coming, and you're gonna swing over the top of it. That thing literally bottoms out. I mean, and it's so consistent. Like
that's the thing. Is it's nasty damn near every time.
Every single time. Yeah, there's not a day that it's off. Like it is every single time he pitches. It's there, and it is disgusting.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
And then the last question that we asked to all of our guests. By the way, do you have a dog?
I have my brother's dogs.
Okay, I guess maybe that counts.
We'll figure
for
something
next
out.
time. For the next time, yeah. You're not eligible for the Starting 9 dog calendar unless you're a 2-time guest. So this is your debut.
Okay.
The last question that we asked to all of our guests: if you could go back in time, just like a standard time machine, regular functions of the time machine, if you could go in that time machine and witness any moment in baseball history, live in person, you're there for it. What's that moment for you?
I would say watching the Braves win the World Series.
Okay. So 95?
Just because of the curse in Atlanta. Atlanta sports can't get over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's going on, I don't know what is going on, but something is going on with Georgia. First, the Super Bowl, then Georgia losing the national championship on a comeback, and then like the Hawks get eliminated every single time they go to the playoffs. The Braves get eliminated every time. Like, just to go back and relive like the last like championship in Atlanta, like that would be really cool.
Did you feel anything at all last night when the Dodgers beat the Braves after? I mean, it was 3-1 Braves in the series. Dodgers go on to win the pennant. Like, obviously you're not thinking of it as a fan. Like, these are like people that you play against now. But like, are you thinking like, damn, like it would have been nice if they did it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part. Is like, I've been a fan of them for so long, but now it doesn't seem like I'm a fan of them. Like, I just like, literally everybody here is Braves fans, obviously. So like, I didn't really feel much when I was watching it, just because, like you said, I face all those guys. It's not like a fan thing, but like reading Twitter and seeing like the disappointment in all my friends and like the heartbreak, I was just like, geez, like that mattered a lot to a lot of people. Like, that kind of baffled me. I was just like, geez, like this is tough. Like, and like, I understand, because like I'm a big Georgia fan, and like seeing, obviously, even after this weekend and like Georgia losing to Alabama, and then their history with them not being able to beat them, and like same thing with the Braves, like not being able to get it past that hump, make it to the playoffs, win the division, do all that, but not be able to go all the way to the World Series or even win the World Series. Like, it means a lot to a lot of people. And so like, that was the one I was like, dang, this is crazy.
This was the chance to rinse that 28-3 out of the mouth. This was the chance.
Did you see the crazy stat about like teams that go up in the NLCS or 2-0 are 28-3?
Oh no, really?
How crazy is that?
Wow.
That was wild.
Numbers.
I saw that on Twitter somewhere. I mean, that could be made up, but from what it seems like,
sounds good.
Sounds
good to me.
The numbers check out, and especially if it's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking of it, I feel like more 2-0 series leads have been had than 31 of them, but I'll still take it.
Don't let facts get in the way of that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, no, that's a real stat.
Yeah.
All right, Brad Keller, Kansas City Royals. Thank you so much for taking the time. Pimp the Twitter and Instagram for the folks.
Brad_Keller 13.
Is 13 your lucky number?
Yeah, it was like my number in high school, and I just kind of stuck with it.
Same.
Grinded it out.
Yeah, same. One of us made it to the big leagues. You're doing it for us. You're doing it for all the
holding
1-3s
down for the 13.
Yeah, you're doing it for all the 1-3s out there. Shout out to all of them. All right, man. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.